Donatelli. Welcome to Reader Seeks Romance, the #1 romance novel talk show on YouTube. In today's episode, I chatted with romance author Sara Desai. Sara discussed her fake fiance rom-com, The Dating Plan, and shared how she came to collect owl paraphernalia. Sara also played a bookish round of venture capital game, Finance or Fail. Enjoy, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hi, Sara. Welcome to Reader Seeks Romance.
Hi, thanks for having me today.
It is a pleasure. Congratulations on the release of The Dating Plan.
Thank you. I'm very excited about seeing my book baby out in the world.
And congratulations on receiving a starred review from Publishers Weekly.
I was very excited about that.
So do you pay much attention to reviews?
I always like to look what's going on and what the readers are thinking, so that when I'm writing my next book, if there's something they love, that I can include it. And if there's something that they didn't like, then I can, decide not to do that the next time.
Oh, that's interesting. So you do take into consideration your readers' opinions to some degree.
I like to get feedback on what I'm doing, and sometimes the readers will have ideas about who they want to see in the next book, or what they really liked. So in the first book of this series, The Marriage Game, there was everybody loved this character of Daisy. And when I was trying to decide who I was going to do next, that was the big one because everybody really liked her. So that's why I decided to do her.
Nice.
It's about a woman who's a software engineer at a company. It's a startup company, and they make feminine products. And she's sort of got her life set. She likes to plan things out. She's not, looking for love, and what she's actually trying to actively avoid it, because she's got this huge, big Desai family, and they're trying to get her married. So she's, constantly trying to get away from them. And she bumps into her brother's best friend, who she'd crushed on during high school. She still has, feelings for him, but she's also very angry because he abandoned her on her prom night. But they get together because they both have reasons to want to have a fake relationship. She wants to keep her aunties off her back. And he has got a family inheritance that's contingent on him being married. So they decide to, set up a fake relationship. But because she's a very practical person, she likes to have lists, she needs plans in her life, she sets up a dating plan that they have to follow so that their fake relationship in the end makes sense and nobody can challenge it. But along the way, while they're going on all these fake dates, they fall for each other.
Daisy and Liam, as you mentioned, they're fake fiancés. The fake relationship trope is rom-com gold, as I'm sure you're well aware. What is your favorite part about crafting a fake relationship romance?
I think my favorite part is them getting together when they don't want to be together. Yeah, it usually starts off very much, a lot of those rom-coms, as an enemies to lovers. So there's a lot of conflict at the beginning, and I love the idea of thinking, how are these two people ever going to wind up getting through this fake relationship? They hate each other so much, they have nothing in common, and then along the way discovering that really underneath they do have a lot in common, and watching them fall in love. So that's my favorite part of it. I knew I wanted her to be working in a startup environment, and I wanted it to be women-centric. And that seemed to be a very good one to do. And then, a lot of the things that come, I've drawn from my own experience, or terrible things that have happened. And that happened to me one time at work, where the dispenser busted and the things started to come out, and there was too many, and you feel that moment of panic, like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I wanted to put that in there in some respect, you know, and I just made it worse for her because her old boyfriend was in the cubicle next door.
Right, right. So that really, it didn't even occur to me that that might have happened to you in real life. I just thought it was complete invention on your part, but I love that it's based on something that actually happened.
Yeah, it did.
Were you editing this during the pandemic? A lot of authors who I've spoken to, they were editing or writing some part of their novel during the pandemic. Did that touch this book at all?
We had decided to go on our first family vacation in 10 years when I had edit to do for this book, and I didn't get them finished before we left. So I had to bring my computer with me, and we went to Maui, and we got there, and we'd only been there 3 days when the Canadian government said everyone must come home because of the pandemic. We're going to close the borders. So I had to try and find a flight for the family to get back home right away. I was also trying to edit my book at the same time. And I was on hold with 3 different phones for about 12 hours trying to get through. And I had my laptop. And so I would check the phones and type my edits and check the phones and type my edits. And I don't think I've ever been so stressed because the book was already overdue for edits. And I was trying to do all this at the same time. But I have such vivid memories of sitting in this condo, you know, desperate to get home. And then this book, and I'm sitting there, I'm saying to my husband, I'm not funny. Nothing is funny right now. I'm supposed to be writing funny things and I don't feel like laughing.
I would not have known that any of that was going on based on reading the book. So you did a good thing. You succeeded in hiding that there was horror going on around you. So I see the owls back there.
Oh, yes.
And you collect owls. Why?
That's a good question. And I have a good answer for you. In my early 20s, I was running at dusk in Vancouver, and an owl flew down from a tree and attacked me. And it flew, like it came at me, the claws grabbed my head. And so I didn't know what it was. Like, I thought at first it was a branch lifting my hair. And then I thought, oh, maybe it's a bird flew too close. But then its claws went into my head. And I, hit my hand up and I looked to see what could it be. It was an enormous owl. Like, this was not a little barn owl or anything. This was a big owl, and it flew up and sat in this tree. So it's barely light. It was a quiet street. And I was just like, oh, what am I supposed to do? And I thought, okay, now he'll know that I'm not a mouse or something. So I kept running. I moved to go, and the owl started to come at me. Like, he moved down the branch following me. And so I started to run, and he lifted his wings. And I thought, oh, he still wants to attack me. And I didn't know what to do. So I bent down, I picked up a big branch, and I was waving it in the air. And the owl still wouldn't go away. And then a car came, and the lights scared the owl, and I bolted and I ran home, and I didn't know what to do because it had clawed my head. So I called my mom, and she's in a different province, and I'm like, Mom, this owl attacked me. And she just started to laugh. And she's like, of anybody, it's going to be you that gets attacked by an owl. And then she's holding up the phone and she's shouting to the rest of the family, Sarah got attacked by an owl. And they're all laughing. And I'm like, but I've been caught. What am I supposed to do? So she says, oh, I think you should call poison control. So I'd only just left home. I'd only been out for a couple of years. So I thought, oh, okay. So I called poison control, and the guy said, was it a poison owl? No. He goes, I don't think we can really help you. So after that, my whole family constantly started buying me owls to make fun of me because of this. And it just, so I wound up having this big collection of owls. And then when I had my own kids, they wanted to hear the story. So they started buying owls for me. So I have a lot of owls.
That is awesome. And not at all the story that I expected.
don't remember the name of it. I grew up in a very small town in Northern Ontario, and we had a public library, and you had to be the children's books were upstairs and the adult books were downstairs, and you had to be 14 to be allowed downstairs. So I had read most of the books. I was always a big reader. Everything I wanted to read upstairs. So I begged the librarian to let me down. They had a young adult section, which was very small, but that was downstairs. And she let me downstairs, and there was, I don't remember what it was called. It was a white book. It had, the usual cover with the woman in the flowing dress and the guy with the chest, the type of that time. And I snuck it into my pile of books, and I read that, and I thought, oh, I can hardly wait to be 14 to get downstairs and get more of these books. But the first one I do remember reading was Outlander.
That's a big one to start with. Yeah. So Daisy and Liam's jobs play a significant role in the story. Daisy works for a company that sells sustainable organic feminine care products, and Liam works for a venture capital firm that offers funding to companies with high growth potential. So today's fun segment is, I am going to tell you about my companies, and you tell me if you would love to fund it, or thank you, we'll be in touch, which I learned from your novel is kind of the way of brushing someone off and saying, yeah, no, we don't want you. I've come up with a publishing company that prints books with edible pages in assorted flavors. So if you don't enjoy the book, at least you have a tasty treat.
Thank you, we'll be in touch.
A publishing company that produces scratch and sniff pages, or at least elements on the page, in which you can scratch and sniff the foods that are mentioned, or perhaps cologne or perfume, anything that smells good.
Fund it.
A book accessories company that produces adjustable book stands for trade and mass paperbacks and hardcovers, that has a cup holder and hidden snack pockets.
Definitely fund it.
An adult novelty and publishing company that produces and publishes erotic romance novels with vibrating book spines.
Thank you, we'll be in touch.
A company that produces book Bjorns for readers who travel with their books and always want them on their person.
Fund it, definitely.
A bookish party events company that hires out actors and models to assume the personas of popular literary characters for the evening. So you could have a book club event and then have Mr. Darcy show up.
Fund it, definitely.
Yeah, I actually want that to really happen. That was
so do I.
As I came up with it, I said, wait a second, maybe the universe is telling me to do this. And then Sarah and I could work on this business together. We could get funded. Possibilities are endless. All right. Well, thank you. And I hope that you can come on the show again sometime in the future.
I'd love to. It's fun.
Awesome.